If there's no standard, if there's no objective truth, if there's no design that has a specific designer, why is it that every single person has experienced pain and due penalty of sexual sin in their lives? And it's because God has made us a certain way, right? Like an automobile manufacturer designs their cars a certain way. And if you get a car and you're like, what's my car? I'll do what I want to with it. And you don't want to put gas in it because gas is expensive and water's much cheaper. You can put water in your gas. It's your car. Like you can do that, but it's not going to work very well or at all eventually, right? Or your oil. Let's say, oil changes take time and they've gotten more expensive and coffee looks a lot like oil. And so I'm just going to use coffee instead of oil. Like you can do that. And honestly, you could probably find some people around you that would affirm it. They'd say, hey, it's your car. You do what you want to do. And they might even be positive. They might even say, that's actually really creative. Let's see how that works, right? But there's this heartbreaking moment in life when we recognize what happens. And I think all of us, if we're honest, have had these moments when we just violate what God says in this area and we experience a little bit of a wreck. Outside of God's design, sexual sin, it promises connection. Like it makes us think you're not going to be alone anymore. And you're just tired of being alone and you just want somebody to be close to. You just want to feel close to someone. You want to touch. You want to be touched. And this is going to do that for you. But if you've done this and gone down this path, you just feel lonelier than ever. And it promises us pleasure. Like you feel like I'm missing out, I'm the only one who is. And then you see these images and you watch these things and you think, oh, that's what I want. And then it just leaves you feeling emptier than ever. And it promises freedom, but it always wants to enslave, and it promises satisfaction, but it just leaves you unsatisfied. And so we exchange God's truth for a lie, and then we don't realize it's a lie until, and I just think most of us can relate to that. I've been a pastor for a lot of years, and I've walked with lots of people who've been caught up in sexual sin and have experienced those consequences. And I've experienced the natural consequences of sexual sin in my own life. And I just know it's true. And so there was a day where talking about some of these things would have felt more difficult than it is now. It's less difficult now because I'm fully convinced that it is the loving and compassionate thing to do. Like I really believe that to be true based on my experience as a pastor and based on my personal experience. I think the least loving thing and the least compassionate thing to do is just to say, hey, here's some coffee for your oil. And so we speak the truth in love because we believe God really is good.